We forgot to introduce this video, so we'll just do that now. Should we do it in an exaggerated British accent? Ah, it's a brilliant idea. Thank you. In 19th century Britain, women had few legal rights. Fathers and husbands were expected to make decisions on their behalf. But there were those who wanted equality. Suffrage campaigners around the world argued that women should be able to vote in parliamentary elections. Now that's a good idea. It is, isn't it? I would like to vote. Do you like to vote? Yes, I do like to vote. Everyone has to vote! You can vote! You can vote! You can vote! Vote for everybody! Unless you're under 18. Yeah. Sorry about that.
One of the leading activists was Emmeline Pankhurst, founder of Women's Social and Political Union, also called the WSPU.
Deeds, not words. Yes, that shall be our motto.
It is for militant action that Emmeline is best remembered. She was arrested twice in 1908 for protesting at Parliament.
No!
Don't struggle! No! Stop it! You'll come with us!
In 1909, other women arrested on similar charges took the drastic step of going on hunger strike.
Do you intend to starve yourself to death? If that's what it takes for us to be recognized as political prisoners, then yes!
The government responded by allowing prison staff to force feed the suffragettes. Emmeline was furious.
What a disgrace! It's a form of torture, violating the bodies of women in such a way.
In 1910, a committee was formed by a group of parliament members who wanted to give women the vote.
Our country needs unity at a time like this, so we must work together to resolve this issue.
Yay! In return, the WSPU agreed to suspend the more militant actions. A bill was drafted, but the only women to get the vote would be unmarried property owners and widows. Emmeline was privately critical, and in the end, the bill was dropped. On November 10th, Emmeline led a protest at Parliament. The police response was brutal.
God damn it! You fucking want human equal rights, eh? How about an equal beating?
4 days later, there was a similar demonstration. There were over 150 arrests, and Emmeline's sister died from her injuries. In 1912, the WSPU intensified the struggle by attacking private property. Emmeline was arrested for smashing the Prime Minister's windows in Downing Street.
May I remind you, sir, that women have failed to get the vote because they have failed to adopt the agitation used by men?
Emmeline was jailed for 2 months. The WSPU continued to smash windows, so the police raided their headquarters.
Police, down on the ground!
Emmeline was found guilty of conspiracy.
We are here not because we are lawbreakers. We are here in our effort to become lawmakers.
Emmeline and others went on hunger strike in an attempt to have all WSPU detainees classified as political prisoners and not criminals.
If any of you dares to take so much as one step inside this cell, I shall defend myself.
In 1913, the government dropped its manhood suffrage bill. Emmeline declared war.
Golf clubs are for men of privilege, so let it burn!
Other WSPU targets included artworks and telephone wires. These radical tactics caused a split in the WSPU, and some prominent supporters stopped donating money. Emmeline was found guilty of inciting these activities.
The last sentence I can pass upon you is a sentence of 3 years penal servitude.
The Cat and Mouse Act of 1913 meant that Emmeline was in and out of jail. This law allowed hunger strikers to be released when they became ill, and then re-arrested when they were better. In May 1914, Emmeline was again arrested for trying to give a petition to the king. 3 months later, the First World War broke out. All imprisoned suffragettes were released. Emmeline focused her attention on the war effort and campaigned for women to be allowed to carry out war work.
What is the use of fighting for a vote if we have not got a country to vote in?
Women were employed in offices, farms, public transportation and factories, including munitions work where they were exposed to danger from explosions and TNT poisoning. In 1918, the Representation of the People Act, including female suffragettes for the first time. Women over 30 and who met various other requirements could now vote.
It's not perfect, but this law is a significant step in our struggle.
It wasn't until 1928 that women were granted suffrage on equal terms to men. Emmeline passed away that year. But outside the parliament, where she protested so vigorously, a statue marks her life's work.
The reasons why Emmeline Pankhurst is relevant for British history, social attitude and politics should be pretty obvious after this video. But just in case some of you dozed off during our amazing presentation, we will repeat it now.
Emmeline Pankhurst was, as mentioned in the video, the leader of the suffragette movement in Britain. This movement made sure that women got their voting rights and became more equal to men.
150 years after the suffragettes went into battle, women are still underrepresented in politics. Out of 649 members of parliament in the House of Commons, just 192 are women. In other words, there are nearly 140% more men than women.
The suffragettes are still a source of inspiration. Even though women are allowed to vote in most countries in the world now, there are still countries stuck in the past. Also in countries where women have the same legal rights as men, there is still a long way to go and fight to fight. Her har vi publikummet vårt foran slottet. Det er mange som møter opp når Emilie og Anna skal Emily and Anna Productions filmer. Så det
Litt av et show i dag.
Ja, så vi måtte faktisk bli bedt om å gå, fordi det samlet seg så mye folk, så sånn er det.
Vi kom oss litt unna, fordi det ble litt for mye publikum.
Ikke sant?
I forhold til hva vi er komfortable med.
Ikke sant? Så tok de, Garden ble sjalu da, for de tok liksom vekk oppmerksomheten fra dem.
De begynte å marsjere og sånt noe, og så begynte vi rett etterpå å filme. Rett foran.
Jeg vet at de var sånn, hallo, vi har show!
Rett foran dem, med plakater og sånt, så det var kanskje litt dårlig gjort.
Ja, egentlig kunne vi filmet det her nede, det hadde vært helt sweet. Når jeg tenker over det.
Ja.
Det ser bra ut uansett.
Rollin.
Fikk du med den? Jeg ser bra ut uansett.
Ja, Emilie, nå leser du avisa.
Then yes! That shall be our motto.
Ja, skjønner slutter her. Det like...
Du ser litt intensiv da, Emilie.
Det gjør vi faktisk. Nå må du demonstrere.
May I remind you, sir?
Nei, Emilie, jeg vil møre igjen. Det var ikke fokus, sorry.